Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the tax messenger speaking. And I want to talk to you this afternoon about income shifting. A shift in the mindset must take place in order for a shift in income to take place. Now, when we're working, we have two goals. Those two goals are to, one, maintain our current lifestyle, and two, prepare for future. Because we don't want to be working for the rest of our lives, especially in a certain situation, which I'll get to in a moment. Now, in striving to reach these two goals, we come across four challenges. Challenge number one is inflation. This is set by an entity known as the Federal Reserve. This is the rate that determines how much buying power the US dollar, in our case, has. Now, give you a bit of how inflation works. Certain things that could be bought for $20, let's say 10, 15 years ago, require more money to be purchased today. That's how inflation works. The second challenge we face is taxes. Inflation is outside of our control, as the Federal Reserve is not bound by the government, but taxes are used for government purposes. The government needs monies to finance its budget, and their primary source of income is taxation. By taxing the citizenry, they can generate the revenue needed to take care of the budget. Now, I'm not saying that they do so responsibly, but that's the setup. Now, for those of us who are taxed to the point where we have to find ways to spend more money than we actually have, that creates debt, which is our third challenge. Debt, again, is brought about by spending more money than you have, be it through credit, loans, and the like. And what debt usually leads to is bad spending habits, which allow for big business to siphon what funds may be remaining. So those are our four challenges: inflation, taxes, debt, and big business siphoning, which is a result of bad spending habits. Now, there are three ways that we can attack those four challenges. Three sources of income possible for each working age citizen. Number one, the one that we're most familiar with, is a job. We earn wages on the job, and they're required to give us a W-2, which we fill out at the end of each fiscal year to pay our taxes. This is the situation for most W-2 workers. I'm working, I'm taxed, and I'm broke. Broke simply means you just don't have the money. Now, the paying out of taxes is controlled by a form called the W-4. If you are currently working a job, you have to have filled this form out. A lot of us don't revisit the W-4, and in fact, nearly 8 out of every 10 of us fill out the W-4 incorrectly. And in filling out that form incorrectly, and by that I'm referring to overpaying in taxes, we end up with these big returns at the end of each fiscal cycle. They're usually paid back in March or April. So we end up with these big returns, but what those returns actually mean is that the government had an interest-free loan for the year where they took your money that you overpaid, they collected the interest off of that money, and then when the time came to clear the records, they only give you back what you overpaid. They don't give you the interest that they made. Now, for those working the standard job, wage earning W-2, the tax rate is 28 to 33%. So basically, 1/3 of your year is spent paying taxes. Wrap your minds around that. 1/3 of your year is spent paying taxes. And then there's another third of the year spent to cover the debt to survive from paying taxes. So you think you get the last third? Yeah, no. That's where the big business comes in. Now, another way of addressing the income situation is home-based business. You go from working for someone else to working for yourself. And by the way, you can be working for someone else and working for yourself. There is benefit to that. A home-based business has a built-in tax shelter of up to $20,000. That's a built-in tax shelter. The government encourages us to be in business for ourselves. Now, beautiful thing about home-based business, your lifestyle pays you back. As long as you keep detailed records of everything that you spend which is useful for your business, you can deduct a great share of those expenses, and in doing so, lower your adjusted gross income. Now, the adjusted gross income is the amount that the government uses to determine how much in taxes you have to pay. Those with a home-based business are able to lower their taxes by up to 10%, 18 to 23%, as opposed to 28 to 33% for just the W-2. So there is a great benefit to having a home-based business. Now, I'll explain the numbers in the top left corner. For those who are willing to go forward with the income shifting strategy, we can adjust the W-4 and reverse your cash flow situation from requiring more money to live out the year to less within 3 months. We can reverse your cash flow situation in 3 months. That's what the 3 in the upper left corner of the jobs section is for. 6 months, we can start making income through the home-based business within 6 months. I personally am about 2 months in, and I've already started to see some income from the home-based business. However, the greatest benefit is the adjustment to the W-4, and that's what a lot of your other home-based business setups don't tell you. If you adjust your W-4, you can provide pretty much instant relief. On average, we're talking $200 to $500 per month of your income staying in your pocket that you can assign to paying off debt and to growing your assets. So cash, asset. And the biggest asset in the home-based business is you. Hence that first quote, I work for me. Now we get over to investments and retirement. The number in the top left corner is a 9. Within 9 months of vestedly working in a home-based business, you should have enough income set aside to grow your assets through investments and retirement funds. You go from I work for me to my money works for me. Now, capital gains, dividends, and other forms of residual income can be used to live instead of just relying solely on wages. That's what it means when it says my money works for me. Now, investments and retirement. This stream of income provides the strongest tax shelter, as less than 10% of the overall adjusted gross income is taxed if this is played correctly. Now, responsible budgeting, which is key to get from here to here, will lead to greater residual income. So you go from I work for someone else, and this is my situation, to I work for myself, and I am improving my situation, to now my money is working for me, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So this is a 3-6-9 setup. 3 months, reverse that cash flow from a deficit to a gain. 6 months, start seeing income from the home-based business, usually less than that. 9 months, start having money set aside to invest in yourself and to put to work for you. Now, I'll explain these numbers at the bottom. These numbers are 3, 2, 1. The 3 says I'm happy with my W-2 situation. I think I can figure something out. I'm just going to plug away and work. If you are a 3, thank you for your time and attention. Now, 2 says, I'm interested in the home-based business. I'm interested in the tax relief. I want to reverse my cash flow situation, and I want to get myself out of the financial mess that I'm currently in. If you're a 2, I would love to discuss some business with you, so please stand by. If you're a 1, I'm all the way in. I want to earn money through the business. I want to build for the future. And I want to see those challenges in the rear view mirror. If you're a 1, I definitely look forward to working with you. So, for the 2s and the 1s, feel free to contact me or anyone associated with my company. If you're a 3, blessings to you. Be the change you seek. This is the Tax Messenger signing off.